The house smells like butter chicken and warm bread. Balloons touch the ceiling. A paper banner says, "Happy Retirement, Mom." I smile and fix it because the letter R is crooked. My hands like to fix small things. Small things feel safe. We sit at the table, me, my son Aaron, his wife Emma, their little girl Nora, and my neighbor Rita. Nora climbs onto my lap and whispers, "Does retirement mean forever weekends?" I laugh. "Maybe," I say. "But I will still wake up early." She giggles and drums her fingers on my arm. Emma stands and lifts a glass. "To Lila," she says. 42 years taking care of everyone at the hospital. We love you." Her eyes shine. Rita taps her fork, smiling. I feel heat in my face. I have never liked big praise. But tonight it is sweet. Aaron clears his throat. He holds his glass high. For a second he looks like the boy who used to ask me for lunch money and hugs. Then he smirks. "To Mom," he says, "for finally retiring and not hovering over us. Maybe now she can just relax and stop, making her problems our problems." He chuckles. "I mean, she's retired. She's kind of useless now, right?" He laughs again, like it is a harmless joke. The room goes quiet. The word hits me like a cold door. Useless. The candle flames bend. Emma's smile dies. Rita's fork slips and clinks against her plate. Nora looks up at me, confused. "Grandma," she whispers. I breathe in. I keep my face calm. I drink a small sip of water. My heart is a drum in a slow storm. I look at my son. He is already checking his phone, as if the moment is nothing. He does not see my hands. They are steady. They have held charts, newborns, old bones, and a life. I put Nora back in her chair. I smooth her hair. "Eat your peas, little star," I say, and kiss her head. I turn to Emma. "Thank you for dinner," I say. My voice is quiet but clear. I gather my plate, carry it to the sink, and rinse it. The running water hides the sound of my breath. No one speaks. The house hums. Somewhere outside a motorcycle passes. I dry my hands on a towel with tiny lemons printed on it. I bought that towel last spring. It made the kitchen look bright. Funny, the things you remember when the air changes. I sit down again. I look at Rita. She gives me a small nod. I look at Emma. She is staring at Aaron, eyes hard, jaw tight, as if to say, "Why would you say that?" Aaron laughs once more, softer now, but it does not reach anyone. We try to eat, but the food is heavy. The rice turns cool. Nora pokes her curry with a spoon and whispers, "Grandma, are you sad?" I press her hand. "I'm okay," I say. "I'm thinking." That is true. I am thinking about words, and how they carry weight when said in front of a child. I stand again. "I'm a little tired," I say. "Long day." I touch Emma's shoulder. "Delicious, dear." I kiss Nora's forehead. "Bed on time." I look at Aaron last. "Good night, son," I say. He lifts his chin like he does when he wants to win an argument that never started. "Night," he says. He shrugs, like the night is small. I walk to the guest room. It smells like lavender from the drawer sachets I keep there. I close the door and lean against it. My hands finally shake. Only a little. I sit on the edge of the bed and look at the suitcase in the closet. It is blue. It has a small scratch from the trip when Nora was born. I touch the handle. Then I let it go. Not yet. Tonight is not for rushing. Tonight is for choosing. I take out a notebook and write one line. Respect is a boundary. I underline it twice. I think of the years I worked double shifts after his father died. I think of the morning I sold my wedding ring to pay his last semester. I think of the mortgage payments that left my account every month like quiet soldiers no one saluted. I do not feel anger. I feel a clean kind of tired. I have given and given. I can still give. But not like this. Footsteps pass the door. I hear Emma scolding in a whisper. I hear Aaron mutter, "It was a joke." I hear Rita say goodbye. The front door clicks. The house settles. I open the window a little. Cool air slips in with city sounds. I fold the spare blanket and place it at the foot of the bed. My phone buzzes. A message from Rita. "I'm here if you need me." I type back, "Thank you. I'm okay. I am okay because a quiet plan is forming." I take a shower. I wash off the smell of dinner and the word that tried to stick to my skin. Useless. The water beats it away. I dress in soft cotton and sit at the desk. I write a short note, not the full thing, just a few sentences I will need. My handwriting is steady again. I picture Nora's face when she asked about forever weekends. I picture her watching her father call someone useless. Children learn from what we say when we think they are not listening. I am not angry at my son. I am angry at the way he speaks. I cannot change him with a shout, but I can teach with a boundary. I turn off the lamp. The room goes dim, blue with street light. I lie down and place my hand over my heart the way the cardiology nurse taught patients when they were scared. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. My chest loosens. In the darkness I hear Aaron open the fridge. Bottles clink. A cabinet closes too hard. Emma says his name, soft but sharp. A chair scrapes. Then silence. The house is full of the things we did not say. I think of morning. I think of keys, papers, and a door opening to air that does not judge me. I think of lemon cookies in a tin, for a little girl who believes weekends can last forever. This thought makes me smile, just a little. I whisper, I am not useless. I say it once, for the girl I used to be. I say it again, for the woman I am now. Then I let sleep take me, not with fear, but with a decision held like a small light in my hands. Tomorrow, I will move with quiet steps. Tomorrow, I will show my son what worth looks like when it stops asking for permission. I wake just after midnight, not from fear but from a steady feeling, like a bell ringing far away. The house is dark. The hallway nightlight makes a small lake of gold on the floor. I put on my robe and sit at the desk again. The blue suitcase waits in the closet like a calm animal that already knows the road. I pull it out and lay it open on the bed. I fold clothes the way the nurses taught me to fold sheets. Corners neat, air pressed out, nothing wasted. 2 dresses, 1 cardigan, old jeans that fit like a memory, the grey coat with deep pockets. Socks into a cloth bag, underwear into another. My hands know what to do. They always have. I take the small tin of lemon cookies from the top shelf and set it near the door. I add a little card for Nora. For forever weekends, I write, drawing a tiny sun. I smile. Even now there is sweetness. It does not cancel the hurt. It stands next to it and refuses to move. Next I open the bottom drawer and pull out a stack of papers tied with a ribbon. I untie the ribbon and sort the sheets on the desk. Bank statements, the refinance letter, the deed copy, the living trust papers I signed last week with Ms. Patel, the attorney. She is younger than me but smart and careful. She said, "You are not cutting your son out of love. You are building a fence that keeps the garden safe." I kept hearing that sentence all week. Tonight it feels like a hand on my shoulder. I slide the papers into a manila envelope. On the front I write, "Please read everything before calling me." I put a house key on top and tape it there so it won't slip. I read my short note again. Only 4 lines. Aaron, words are seeds. You planted one in front of a child. I will not water it. The documents show what I carried and what I choose now. I love you. Respect is the condition of my love. I do not add more. Sometimes too many words make the truth soft. Tonight the truth should stand straight. Outside, a siren fades. The refrigerator hums and then rests. The clock says 2:18 a.m. I make tea. I drink it slowly and rinse the cup, leaving the sink clean. I have always believed in leaving rooms better than I found them. Even now, I open the cedar box where I keep small valuables. My wedding band is gone. It left years ago for a tuition bill that could not wait. In its place are tiny things that survived. A bus token from the first job, a photo of Aaron's first day of kindergarten, a note from a patient who wrote, "You held my mother's hand like she was yours." I take the photo and slide it into my purse. I leave the token. I do not need it. I have my own ride now. At 3, I text Rita, leaving early. We'll call after sunrise. A minute later bubbles appear. Proud of you. Coffee later, she sends back. I breathe easier. It helps to know someone sees me and still sees good. I pack my medicines, my reading glasses, my little sewing kit. I zip the suitcase and test the handle. Smooth. I set out tomorrow's clothes, comfortable shoes, navy dress, warm scarf. I place a spare toothbrush in a plastic case. I look around the guest room and try to see it like a stranger would, tidy, quiet, a place that held me when I needed a soft landing. I make the bed and tuck the envelope into the center of the pillow so no one can miss it. I think of Emma. Her face when Aaron spoke was full of pain and quick apology. I write her a separate note and tape it to the utility receipts. Emma, you have always been kind. This is not against you. The trust protects Nora's future and gives you stability. Call me if you need help with any of the paperwork. We are on the same side. I put that note inside the envelope too. I sit on the edge of the bed and close my eyes. I speak to my husband in the way I do sometimes. I am tired of being the bridge everyone walks over, I say. I will still be a bridge, but with rails and a sign that says one at a time. It makes me laugh, a small sound in the dark. At 4:30, I dress and slip into the hallway. The house smells like last night's spices and the lemon towel. I pause outside Nora's door. A soft snore. A toy piano on the floor. I cannot go in. If she wakes, she will ask me to stay, and I will. I leave the cookie tin by the door with her name on it. She will find it at breakfast and smile. In the kitchen, I write one last line on a sticky note and place it near the kettle. Emma, please make sure Nora sees the sun drawing before school. L. I take my keys, my purse, and the suitcase. The wheels are very quiet on the runner rug. In the living room, I stop in front of the framed family photo from 2 years ago. We are all smiling. It is still true that we loved each other that day. It is still true that love needs boundaries today. I carry the envelope to the guest room and set it on the pillow, straightening it like a nurse would straighten a blanket. The key glints. The tape holds. At the front door, I hesitate. My son is sleeping in the next room. The boy I once woke for school. The man I cannot wake to respect with a single speech. I whisper a blessing that sounds like a prayer and like a rule at the same time. May we use gentle words, I say. May we learn fast. I open the door. Cold dawn air kisses my face. The street is grey-blue, street lights still on, birds just beginning. I lock the door behind me and walk to the car. The suitcase slides into the trunk. I sit, hands on the wheel. For a heartbeat, I wait for tears. They do not come. The steady feeling is still there, stronger now. The city is empty and kind at this hour. I drive past the river. Mist rides the surface like a scarf. A jogger waves. I wave back. I turn onto Maple and stop in front of the small brick building with black iron railings and a green door. My new place. The landlord left the keys in a lockbox. I open the box, climb the stairs, and push the door. The apartment smells like fresh paint and lemon cleaner. Pale light pours through wide windows. There is a little kitchen, a tiny balcony, and a bedroom just big enough for quiet. I set the suitcase by the closet and open the blinds. The river glints. In the distance, I can see the clinic where I signed up to volunteer. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings. I will be useful there. I always was. I make a cup of tea with the travel kettle I packed. I stand by the window and sip. My phone buzzes with a calendar reminder I forgot to delete. Retirement breakfast at Aaron's, 8 a.m. I press and hold, then slide to delete. No, I say softly. Breakfast at my place. I text Rita, coffee at 9. She replies with a heart. I turn my phone face down and breathe. Somewhere, a child is waking. Somewhere, a man will open a door and find an envelope that does not shout but speaks clearly. I am not running away. I am stepping into my life, the same way I have stepped into rooms for 4 to 2 years, prepared, calm, and ready to care. This time, I am also ready to care for myself. Morning starts like any other, cartoons low on the TV, kettle clicking on, Nora's small feet pattering down the hall. But there is a quiet in the house that feels different, like a missing stair. Emma finds the tin on the shoe bench. For forever weekends, she reads, and smiles at the little son Lila drew. Then she sees the guest room door open, the bed made smooth, a manila envelope on the pillow with a key taped to the front. Aaron, she calls, not loud, not soft. He comes in with a mug. He is still sleepy, still wearing the careless grin he uses to cover small regrets. The grin leaves as soon as he sees the envelope. He sets the mug down. The spoon rattles. On the front, in Lila's steady handwriting, please read everything before calling me. Aaron peels off the key and opens the flap. The paper smell rises, clean and dry. The first thing is a letter, 2 pages, no anger, no blame. He reads the first line and feels heat crawl up his neck. Aaron, words are seeds. You planted one in front of a child. I will not water it. The documents show what I carried and what I choose now. I love you. Respect is the condition of my love. He swallows. The words are simple. They land like stones in water, each one sinking straight. Emma stands next to him, a hand on his arm. Keep going, she says. Next come the bank statements. Month after month of automatic transfers from Lila's account labeled mortgage A&E. All the way back to the year Nora was born. Aaron flips pages faster, as if speed can change the numbers. It cannot. His name is there. The amounts are exact. The dates match hard years he tries not to remember. Job cuts, the blown transmission, the winter the heater died. He sits on the bed. The mattress dips. He presses his thumb into one page like he could push time back. Emma takes a breath. I asked her once if she wanted to help, she says, voice shaky. She said it was handled. I thought we. I told you we were fine, he says, and the shame is a heavy coat. He tries to laugh, a small, ugly sound. It dies in his throat. Under the statements is a copy of a refinance letter from years ago, explaining a clerical error and a new deed issued in Lila's name to secure a better rate. There is the deed copy, official and boring and absolute. Then a new stack, a living trust packet from Ms. Patel, the attorney. The language is clear. The house remains for Emma and Aaron to live in and care for, but legal control sits with the trust. The future beneficiary is Nora. The trustee is Emma. The rules are practical. No selling or borrowing against the house without trustee approval and a cooling period. Monthly budget reports for big expenses. Contingencies for illness. And then a clause that makes Aaron's ears ring. If Aaron engages in verbal abuse toward any member of the household or toward Lila, distributions for Aaron are paused and family counseling becomes required for resumption. Documented completion is needed. Not a punishment, the note says, a boundary. Aaron grips the pages until the corners curl. He hears Nora in the kitchen singing to a spoon. He hears his words from last night, rotten and bright and stupid. She's kind of useless now, right? He feels sick. Emma is quiet, tears on her lashes but not falling. She made me trustee, she says, like a person given a fragile glass and told to carry it across a crowded room. Then she sees the small stack set aside with a sticky note in Lila's hand. Emma, 2 months utilities attached. Call me if you need help with forms. We are on the same side. There is a cashier's check. There are receipts. Emma presses her lips together and finally lets one tear slide down. She thought of everything, she whispers. Aaron flips to the last page. It's a short list in Lila's tidy script, the clinic schedule where she will volunteer, her new address, and a simple invitation. When you can speak to me with respect, my door is open. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays I'm at the clinic 8 to 12. Any other afternoon, you can try the green door by the river. He stares at the words my door is open until they blur. He thinks of the doors she opened his whole life. Doors to classrooms when he forgot his lunch, doors to offices when he needed extra forms, doors to the gym when he wanted to try out and didn't have the fee. He thinks of the one door he closed for her last night with a sentence said like a joke. Nora bounces into the room with the cookie tin. Grandma left me sunshine cookies, she says. She stops when she sees their faces. Is Grandma sick? Emma kneels. Grandma is okay, she says. She is taking care of herself today. Like vitamins? Nora asks. Like vitamins, Emma says, and kisses her hair. Aaron's phone is in his hand without him deciding to pick it up. He calls. It goes to voicemail. He hangs up. He calls again. He hears his own breath. He doesn't leave a message. What could he say? Mom, I'm sorry feels too small and too late at the same time. He reads the letter again, slower now, as if clarity is hiding between the lines. He notices things he missed. How she thanked them for dinner before saying anything else, how she wrote about Nora first, how she didn't use the word punishment once. He sees the phrase respect is the condition of my love and tastes how true it is. He has always felt her love without asking what it cost. Now he sees the bill. Emma stands and speaks quietly, with the firmness she uses at the hospital. We're not going to argue about the trust. It keeps us safe. It keeps Nora safe. And it's fair. He nods, something inside him sinking and settling. I said it in front of Nora, he says, the shame turning into something else, heavier but cleaner. I made her watch me be mean. We fix it, Emma says. We show her what repair looks like. He looks at the counseling clause again. The words are not a threat. They are a map. He thinks of all the times he used jokes like fences, the times he kicked at the people who stood closest because they were within reach. He thinks of his mother's hands, steady over years, and last night, steady still. He stands and goes to the mirror. He looks older than he did yesterday. Good, he thinks. Let the part of me that was a boy fall away. He takes a breath and says it out loud, to make it real. I will not speak to my mother without respect. Not once. The mirror does not answer. It doesn't need to. He finds his laptop and opens his company portal. There is a training course on speaking to be heard. He signs up. He finds a local family counselor and fills the intake form. Under reason for visit, he writes, "I hurt my mother with my words. I need to stop hurting people I love." He clicks submit. He returns to the guest room and smooths the envelope on the bed, the same way Lila must have done. He places his palm on it in a small, quiet thank you. He picks up his phone again, but this time he doesn't call. He texts, "I am sorry. I am taking steps. When you are ready, I would like to listen." No explanations. Just listening. He does not expect a reply. None comes. He feels something like relief anyway. He has finally stopped trying to fix things with quick talk. He has finally chosen a slow tool. Nora peeks in. "Daddy, can we bring Grandma the cookies later?" she asks. "Not today," he says gently. "But soon. And we will bring tea, and we will use soft voices." She nods like this is a plan she can follow. "Soft voices," she repeats, and skips away. Aaron stands in the doorway and looks at the morning light on the hallway floor. It looks like a path. He puts on his shoes. He tells Emma, "After I drop you and Nora, I'm going to drive by the river." "Will you go in?" she asks. "I don't know," he says. "Maybe today I just need to see the door that is still open." He lifts the envelope once more, as if it has weight you can measure, and then sets it down with care. The house is the same house. The rules are new. The lesson is old. Love without respect becomes a debt. He is ready to start paying it back. The river looks like silver ribbon under the sun. Lila stands on her small balcony with a cup of tea and watches morning boats move like slow beetles. She is not hiding. She is living. At 11, there is a knock. 2 soft taps. She knows that knock. She opens the green door. Aaron stands there with a paper bag of groceries and no jokes on his face. Emma is beside him, holding Nora's hand. Nora holds the cookie tin like a treasure. No one speaks first. Lila steps back and points to the table. "Tea?" she asks. "Yes, please," Emma says. Aaron only nods. His eyes are red around the edges. They sit in the small kitchen. Sunlight makes a square on the table. Lila pours tea and sets out the lemon cookies. She waits. She has learned that waiting can be a kind of power. Aaron clears his throat. He looks at his hands. "I was cruel," he says. "I called you useless in front of my daughter. I was wrong." His voice shakes. He takes a breath. "I signed up for counseling. I sent in the forms this morning. I took a course at work called Speaking to be Heard. I learned that just joking is often a shield. I don't want shields anymore." Lila listens. She does not rush to fill the air. She lets his words stand. "I am not here to argue about the trust," he adds. "It protects Emma and Nora. It tells me where the fence is. I need fences." He swallows. "I'm sorry, Mom." He says Mom like it is the first word he ever learned. Nora swings her legs. "We will use soft voices," she says, very serious. Everyone smiles and the room loosens. Lila reaches across the table and places her hand over Aaron's. "Thank you," she says. "We start with respect. We go slow. We don't build a bridge in one day." They eat cookies in quiet. It is a good quiet this time, full of space, not emptiness. Emma takes notes on her phone about the trust questions she wants to ask Ms. Patel. Lila answers the easy ones and says, "Let the lawyer explain the rest." That is her job. It feels good to give work back to the people whose work it is. When they stand to leave, Aaron turns at the door. "Will you come by on Sunday?" he asks. "Nora's birthday is next week. We are doing a small dinner. I would like to practice being the father I want her to see." His voice is careful. It sounds like someone learning a new instrument. "We will see," Lila says. "It is not a punishment. It is an honest promise." She walks them to the stairs and watches them go. Nora blows a kiss and whispers, "Forever weekends, Grandma." Lila nods. "Forever weekends, little star." Days become a pattern. Lila volunteers at the clinic 3 mornings a week. She checks blood pressure, files charts, listens to stories. People call her nurse even though she was an administrator, and she smiles and does the work anyway. She brings extra reading glasses in a zip bag for patients who forgot theirs. She is not useless. She is a river with many turns. At home, she learns the sound of the building, the elevator's sigh, the neighbor's radio at dinner time, the boy upstairs who practices trumpet and gets a little better each day. She puts a plant on the windowsill. It leans toward the light and grows. On Thursdays, Aaron and Emma go to counseling. Sometimes Aaron comes by after, just to sit and drink tea in silence. He does not try to fix anything with words. He practices not interrupting. Lila practices letting him find his own balance. They both learn to enjoy simple weather reports. It might rain later. Bring an umbrella. Small talk becomes safe talk. Safe talk becomes trust. A month passes. Then two. The old hurt becomes a scar, thin, pale, present, but not the whole story. On a bright Saturday, Emma texts, "Birthday dinner tomorrow at 6. Just the family. Will you come?" Lila replies, "Yes. I will." She wears her navy dress and the warm scarf, the one with tiny birds on the ends. She brings a new storybook for Nora and a pie still warm from the bakery near her apartment. When she walks in, the crooked R on the banner from the retirement dinner has been fixed. Lila laughs. "Thank you," she says. Emma smiles. "We're learning." The table is set simply. Aaron takes a deep breath and stands. He does not raise a glass. He places both hands flat on the table so they don't shake. "Before we eat," he says, "I want to say something where Nora can hear it." Nora sits up straight. Rita, invited this time by Emma, winks at Lila across the table. Aaron looks at Lila. His eyes are clear. "You are not useless," he says. "You are the reason this home stood when I was shaking." His voice doesn't crack. He keeps going. "I used jokes to hide. I hurt you. I am changing. If I forget, I will return to the fence and try again." He turns to Nora. "Sweetheart, we never call people useless. We use kind words. When we make mistakes, we say sorry and we fix it with actions. Do you understand?" Nora nods, very solemn. "Soft voices," she says. "Soft voices," Aaron repeats. They eat. They laugh. It feels like a new house grew on the same land. After cake, Aaron brings out a small box with a ribbon. He puts it on the table in front of Lila. "I asked Ms. Patel how to honor what you built," he says. "She showed me the right way." Lila opens the box and finds a set of documents with bright yellow tabs. On top is a letter from Ms. Patel explaining that Aaron has signed an amendment acknowledging the trust rules and adding something new. A formal promise to contribute to Nora's education fund every month, with automatic transfers already set. Emma is co-signer and trustee on that fund too. The payments start today. Lila looks at Aaron. He shrugs, "Shy now. You paid our mortgage for years," he says. "I can pay for my daughter's future without being asked." The room is warm. This could be the end. It would be enough. But there is one more twist, quiet and bright. Lila reaches into her purse and pulls out a small sealed envelope with Nora's name written in the neat letters Nora can almost read. "I was going to save this for later," Lila says. "But later is just another word for tomorrow." "What is it?" Nora asks, wide-eyed. "A letter for when you turn 18, Lila says. "Emma, you keep it safe. It has stories about your great-grandmother, a recipe for the lemon cookies, and one more thing." She smiles at Aaron. "Last week, the clinic offered me a part-time paid position to coordinate volunteers. I said yes. I'll still work only a few mornings, but they insisted on paying me. I put the first 3 months of that pay into a small savings account in Nora's name. The letter explains how to grow it." Aaron blinks. Emma laughs and covers her mouth. Nora claps. "Grandma has a job," she shouts. "Grandma is rich." Everyone laughs with her. Aaron looks at his mother with a new kind of respect, the kind that does not need paperwork to stand. "You didn't tell me," he says. "You didn't need it to be about me," Lila says softly. "You needed it to be about what kind of man you want to be." He nods. He understands. It is a simple twist, but it is strong. Lila was never stepping back from life. She was stepping into a new shape of it, and she was already investing in the child who watched and learned. When the night ends, they walk Lila to the door. On the porch, Aaron hesitates and then asks, "Would you like the crooked R banner? We fixed it." Lila shakes her head. "No," she says, smiling. "Leave it up. Let it remind you that we can fix small things and big things, one careful letter at a time." On the drive home to her green door by the river, the city lights look like stitched stars. She thinks of bridges with rails, of fences that keep gardens safe, of voices that can be soft and still strong. She does not feel like a hero. She feels like a person who made a choice and kept walking. At home, she puts the plant on the balcony to drink a little moonlight. Her phone buzzes. A message from Aaron. "Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying you." Another from Emma. "Tea tomorrow?" And one more from an unknown number that turns out to be a patient from the clinic. Thank you for listening today. You held my hand like I mattered. Lila smiles. She turns off the light and stands in the dark for a moment, letting the quiet wrap around her. The last shocking thing is not loud at all. It is the simple truth that respect can return, love can grow new roots, and worth does not retire.